Hello, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for October 20th to the 27th, 2023. There is a lot going on the planet. I don't think I need to comment on it, but what I would like to do is get into the reading. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and join me in 3 deep breaths. With each breath, dropping into our bodies, our beautiful compasses, returning to ourselves, returning to the broader, wiser part of us, returning to the wisdom that we are. And I invite you to envision a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, grounding your energy deep, deep into Mother Earth, our beloved Mother. Knowing that that grounding is powerfully healing and allows us to be fully present and fully engaged in our now, as well as providing us with a channel through which anything that no longer serves us can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for our new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. I want to thank you for the opportunity to read here again once more. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and our collective well-being. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, now and in the future, to be present and facilitate this exchange, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, so that the information that is exchanged here today or brought through will be for our highest and best, will be in service to our personal and collective highest and good, and that we may make use of the contrast of these times in wise ways to build a future that is more beautiful than the lives we've known. I'd like to invite the 4 archangels now to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of wisdom, of inspiration, of peace, of healing, of transformation, of discernment, of grounding, of whatever it is that is uppermost in our personal and collective heart and mind may be brought into this circle and held in a good way for all of us, our highest and greatest good. Anything that doesn't match those frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. And with that intention setting, let's get down to this week's reading. What is it that we need to know this week, Creator? For personal well-being and good, that we may move with grace and ease in our lives and be clearings for the good. I'd like to apologize for any noise you hear. There's work going on in my house. And I'd like to set an intention that we receive what it is we need to know about the world and the dynamics of the world this week for our good, for our peace, for our grounding, for our wisdom, that we may hold good energy and frequency and right relationship to life this week for all of our good. Because boy, as an individual, we can shift a lot of energy. Okay, Creator. What do we need to know this week, please, for our highest and greatest good? Recent past. The Justice card. Middle card of the major arcana. That which is appropriate, right, and aligned, congruent. It's also the card of karma, because what we create through our actions and our words and our intentions is a momentum. And our life follows the energy of that momentum. So we need to be really mindful about what we're doing with our attention, our words, and our actions. Do they line up with what our heart is telling us? Are we living congruently between mind, heart, and body? Are we able to bring all of ourselves to our lives harmoniously? Or is there division within? When we have division within, we often see it in the world without. And, well, let's face it, it's a challenging time, and there's a lot going on in the world. And so we're being called upon to just reflect on where are we within ourselves? And are we living in a way that is authentic and congruent and aligned? Are we engaging with life in right relationship, because what we put out is what we will receive. It's kind of almost that wheel of fortune kind of quality as well. But it is very, very interesting. So this is the energy of the recent past. It's important in our present and our future. The quality of justice, the quality of karma, the quality of creating the future through our words and our actions and our attention is very important with this card. We need to be mindful. We need to be paying attention. We need to be conscious and not just randomly allowing our attention and focus to be pulled in different directions. And that's very easy to happen. There's lots of perspectives out there, lots of different people weighing in, lots of good justifications for different things. But ultimately, if we want to be people of peace, we need to stay in our hearts. We need to stay grounded. We need to stay connected and hold space for the wisdom of humanity to come through, for it to prevail, so that we can exist in right relationship with each other, understanding we really are all one. And so it doesn't make any sense to be harming each other. The present card, the card of oppression. Wands. Wands is about creativity, inspiration, and passion. It's usually a very lively, energetic kind of quality. But this 10 of Wands is the card of oppression, and it's heavy. You see this guy is straining to lift the basket of things that he's carrying, and realizing that that basket is full of stuff that isn't his. And so we need to ask ourselves, what are we carrying that isn't ours? What are we carrying that isn't authentic to us? What are we carrying that is blocking us from being kinder and more compassionate, being broader and wiser? What is limiting our ability to be as joyful and expressed and connected and full of inspiration as we could be? Paying attention to what this heaviness is that we're holding will help us to distinguish what we no longer need to be giving our energy to and pull it out of there. Because we can't feel bad enough about anything to change it. What changes life is love, is kindness, is enthusiasm, is lining up with our yes, is moving in right direction. And there's a lot of energy on the planet right now that is confusing. But we as a species, we as a life form, humanity, are evolving right now. We have a lot of baggage. We have a lot of story that isn't relevant anymore. So as each individual unpacks that story for themselves personally, it helps to clear the collective story of the human family. And we can let things go that no longer serve us so that we can rise personally and collectively in good ways, which is where we are right now. There's a lot of healing that needs to happen. And it starts within us. The world outside is a mirror for the division that is within us. So coming home to our hearts, coming home to ourselves, being kinder to ourselves, being wiser with ourselves, understanding that we're all going to have bad days. And sometimes we're not very kind to ourselves, we're not very loving, and we're not very tolerant. And we can learn to turn that around. Learn to be present and kind and understand that we're creating our experience through our attention, our words, our actions, and choosing differently. Because this burden that we're holding as individuals and collectively is limiting our enthusiasm, is limiting our yes, is limiting our capacity to generate from a joyful, life-filled, life-giving space. So, interesting. This card of oppression in our present. Rather apt, I would think. Just being aware of it. It's not about making anything wrong. It's becoming aware and using the information of what we're distinguishing to move life in ways that we would prefer, because ultimately that's what we want. We want happiness. We want peace. We want well-being. We want healing. We want transformation. We want health. We want beauty. All of these things. But we've got some work to do. Things to remove from our field. Near future. The Six of Wands, victory. That's a nice jubilant card to follow this one, this heavier card. We will overcome. We will transcend. The astrology of the time is indicating it, if you follow that sort of thing. But also, humanity is destined to evolve. We can't help it. We have a constant energy of desire. Each of us has our own seed desire. That yes that I keep talking about. It's inevitable that humanity will expand and grow because we all have an innate desire to transcend and become more, to achieve more or learn more or experience more. We are continually desiring and we never get it done. Even in this lifetime, we complete this lifetime, we come back, we have another round of things that we are excited and inspired by. And if it isn't in this world, whatever your perspective on reincarnation, that momentum continues with our spirit, with our soul, however you see it. That energy transcends this lifetime, that desire, that wanting, that longing, that motivation within us that is to become, we're here to become more than we were, to experience more. This is what this card is reminding us. This is what we are moving towards as individuals and as a collective. So just to remember that our progress is inevitable. Our evolution is inevitable. Yes, we have some work to do. We do. And it's okay. We don't have to get it all done today. We'll do our best, right effort. But ultimately, we are moving in good directions. When we listen to our heart and when we follow our purified desire, and I'm not talking about just following the id and eating the whole cake and whatever else, right? I'm talking about purified desire, that lofty desire, that beautiful energy that is inside of each of us that longs to be more, to add unto life through our radiance, through sharing our gifts and sharing who we are and shining brightly. So this is telling us, we're moving in this direction of more victory, of more life, of more jubilance, of transcending. We have this horse leaping over the flames and the rider, doing that with ease and grace. We're going there. That's where we're going as a humanity. This is where we're going as individuals. So we need to choose well because we're creating this future. Where's our attention? And here, the Princess of Swords. Princesses, new beginnings, fresh starts, could be babies, that kind of quality of energy. Swords is about ideas and action. And so in the picture, we see that she's just received a letter and she's reading it with great interest. Her eyes are wide open and she's a little smile on her face. And she's surrounded by all these golden orbs and butterflies. So there's this quality of freshness, of new distinctions, of new awarenesses. This is why we're having the reading this week. We need to have a new perspective, reframe on everything that we're going through so that we can let go of the heavy old story, the duality story that we've got, us versus them, which is playing out right now. Enough. We are all human. There's enough for all of us. There's so much that is happening where our attention and energy is being manipulated and being directed in ways that don't serve us, either as individuals or as a collective. But there are new ways forward, new ways of looking at life, new ways of looking at each other, new ways of being resilient and resourceful and adjusting and adapting, being victorious, transcending, evolving, becoming more through our choices, making good choices, understanding that we are a cooperative component. So it's very intense and interesting, the cards this week. There's a lot going on. And, it's okay. It's okay. As individuals, if you're feeling it's a bit much, do what you can to take care of yourself, please. Get outside into nature. Go hug a tree. Just do something to break the pattern where your attention is. Go do something to refresh and renew your perspective. That's what this is talking about. It will serve you very much in staying in a more resilient and resourceful place. And of course, it's so easy to get hooked into the events on stage, on the world stage. It's horrific. And it's very easy to get pulled in multiple directions. But intense emotionality is part of all of that. But does it serve us as individuals to get caught up in that? Be aware of it. If that is important to you and the work that you're doing and your meaningful contribution and it's part of your yes, of course. But if it's something that you find is draining you, that if you're watching this information coming in from the outer world and you're left feeling hopeless and despairing and smaller and not as resilient and not as resourceful and you are feeling hopeless for life, that's not a very healthy or resilient state to be in. And when we go to that place, we can't be of service to life. We're contracted, we get dense, and it doesn't help anybody. So as much as possible, refresh, renew, plug into something that refreshes and renews you, that invigorates you, that connects you with your yes, that helps you to plug into that desire to be and express your moreness in good ways on the planet, so that your energy of transcendence can help support the collective energy of transcendence. Let's pull a card to grow on, shall we? Okay, Creator, what is it that we need to know, please? In these very, very intense and interesting times, what is it that we need to know so that we can be at our best, to the best of our ability, so that we can be clean and clear and whole and loving and wise for ourselves, for those we love, for our communities, and for the world? What is our card to grow on this week, October 20th to the 27th, 2023? The Magician. So this, again, it's a major arcana. We've seen this one before. It speaks to our capacity to create life. The Magician is pulling water up out of the ground. That's our power when we line up our attention, our intention, and our will. It's very, very potent. And, you know, if you look at our society and how we do things, we tend to be pretty distracted. The latest thing on Netflix, the latest news report, you know, whatever, you name it, it's out there pulling us off our center, pulling our attention off our purpose, pulling our attention away from the things that we want to be doing. You know, it's so urgent, it's so intense, and it's so demanding. But is it pulling you away from your power? If we were a planet of empowered human beings, what would it look like? That we're creating from a congruent, loving, kind, wise place of purified desire. What would our life and our world look like if that's where we were operating from? And that's what this card is reminding us to do. Let's get to that loftier, wiser place so that our words are congruent, our actions are congruent. When we say we want peace, we are behaving in peaceful ways. We are putting peace out into the world through our beingness. We want love in the world. Well, we're being loving. We want kindness in the world. We're being kind, being compassionate. Whatever it is that in your heart you'd like to see more of, this week, set the intention, attention, and will to being a clearing for more of it in the world. We are each channels for the life force. We are each here to make a difference. And if you want to see, like I said, more love or more peace or more kindness or more compassion or more wisdom, set the intention to be a clearing for it. Once that intention is set, which is incredibly powerful, go out there into the world and be a clearing for that from your full heart, with all of your heart and your love and your mind and your beingness. Be you in beautiful ways in the world, bringing that to the world. So this is our card to grow on. The Magician. We need to hold our power, claim our power, and be powerful and make a difference in our world, starting within us. Accessing who we are and being a clearing for more of it on the planet right now. It is, as I said, it's intense times, and it can be difficult to know what to do. We can feel conflicted because it feels so intense and horrendous that people are suffering. But our suffering is not going to alleviate theirs. Our peace and love and kindness builds the field of peace and love and kindness on the planet. That's why it's so important. And that also feeds our collective human evolution in that direction, because that karma card was showing us that we're the ones directing where things are going. So let's be mindful of our energies and attentions as individuals and collective. And let's be masterful creators with our energy and our focus, which is so precious, putting it in good places so we can create more magnificence here on this planet, and we can help to heal all that heaviness and all that damage and relieve it from the human field. We've got this. We chose to be here. We may not remember we chose to be here, but we did. We're part of this change. We came to be agents of the transformation of humanity. We're on the threshold. It's already happening. It's already shifting. The progress is inevitable. And so harnessing that energy and that momentum personally and collectively is what we need to do right now. We're moving towards collaborative, co-creative, generative, care for each other, care for the planet, doing things from a good place, right relationship, supporting all of us to thrive so that we each can bring our best to life in beautiful ways. This is where we're going. So if we can start now and live into it now, we can help fuel that into the collective field. Okay, and with that, let's take a nice deep breath. Using the breath to come home. Whenever you're feeling heavy, take a nice deep breath. Give yourself permission to go do something, to switch it up, to break the pattern. Get outside. It's a really good way to break the energy. To be renewed, to be refreshed, to have a new perspective. Keep it simple. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children, once again, gathered this week, the week of October 20th to 27th, 2023. I ask that you be with all of us as we travel through these strange times, observing such strange stuff in the big world, actions and stories and impacts that are so far from what we are holding in our hearts. And I ask that you support us in staying true to what we know within ourselves, that we stay aligned with love, with kindness, with peace, with understanding and compassion, so that we better navigate these confusing times, that we stay grounded and centered in our beings in good ways, so we can be a clearing for more love and light on the planet at this time, that we can support each other in holding that good, clear, refined energy of beauty, healing, transformation, knowing that we are each agents for the good if we choose to be. I'd like to send love and light out into the world to anyone, anywhere who is needing it. I'd like to send healing and peace to anyone who is needing it right now. Know that you are loved and part of a circle of light, and that we are transforming together. And we've got this. Thank you to all those who helped to hold the space today. Thank you to the archangels. Thank you to the grandmothers and grandfathers. Thank you to all those who are journeying together. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for being here once again this week. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you haven't already, share if it feels appropriate. It doesn't really matter. These come every week for our personal and collective good. If they're meant to go further, they will. I trust those algorithms. And in the meantime, may you be well. May you hold your center, your beauty, your balance, your peace, and be a clearing for more of the same for those you love, for your communities, and for this beautiful world we love. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a blessed week. And I'll talk to you again. Bye for now.